Hey man, I have a beverage here. This is the Musubi episode. Welcome to episode number 18 of Chappy's Tiki Bar, starring Mookie. And with me, as always, is Fred. This is the Musubi episode. I'm going to make Spam Musubi, then we're going to learn the history of Spam Musubi in Hawaii. But first, I'm going to make a White Russian because the dude abides. We got best tropical destination stories. We're going to head out to Kinjo Sushi in Calgary, Alberta. And then we have Appies with Chappy by the lake. I'm going to make a Roy Rogers for the kids. And then I invent my own cocktail. Right here on Chappy's Tiki Bar. So we're going to have a spam-tastic time with my Spam Musubi. So sit back, relax, pour yourself a drink, and get ready for Chappy's Tiki Bar. Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chappy's Tiki Bar. Mookie's going to be along shortly for Best Tropical Destination Story. She's going to summon the tiki drum for me. First off, I'm going to make a White Russian. You might recognize that. That was the drink the dude drank in the Big Lebowski. So many great quotes in that movie. You're out of your element, Donnie. The dude abides. He treats objects like women, man. Put your favorite Big Lebowski quote in the comments below. Alright, so so the dude drank a White Russian, very simple. Just Kahlua vodka and a bit of cream. I'm going to whip my cream today. So I'm going to go into my parents' 1970s ice bucket. We're going to put a little ice. And then some Kahlua, some vodka, and then so I have some heavy cream. What I did is I put it in the freezer just to get it super cold, and we'll see if I can whip it a little bit. I got these old style beaters. We're going to give it a try. Alright, this could take a while. Alright, I've been at her for about 5 minutes. It's just not whipping. This is Mookie's poncho from the Cinco de Mayo episode. Alright, so my backup plan is I have a BMX blender, hand blender. I think Gordon Ramsay was pimping these a long time ago. It's quite old. So I'll give that a try. Oh yeah, that's working much better. Oh yeah, I got whipped cream. Look at that. Wondrous. And then in goes my whipped cream. Ooh, this is going to be good. So I'm going to garnish it with a little instant espresso powder. And there you have it. You're out of your element, Donnie. So coming up next, I'm going to get Mookie, and we're going to do Best Tropical Destination Story. This is the segment we call Best Tropical Destination Stories. So send your best tropical destination stories to chappiness@yahoo.com, and I'll read them on my show. So Mookie's here to summon the tiki drums, and we'll read my best tropical destination story. Here we go, Mookie. Thank you, Mookie. All right, so somebody actually emailed me a best tropical destination story. So this comes from Nick Now I used to work with Nick on the cruise ships. So it says, remember the story about that cruise director? Thank you very much, Nick. Nick, you're killing me. So I think I remember what he's talking about. Basically, on the cruise ships, they have cruise directors. It's just like the Love Boat, where Julie McCoy is a cruise director and she coordinates activities and stuff. So like that actually is a job. So the cruise director on the Norway, he would do like shopping excursion talks on the ship, and then when they docked, he would basically refer them to different shops on the islands. And a lot of people didn't know this, but the cruise director gets kickback for whenever he sends somebody to a shop and they buy something. So this was on the Norway, and I think the run was St. Martin, St. Thomas, and the private island out of Miami. So they were docked in St. Thomas, and there happened to be a Saudi prince on board, and he wanted to buy some diamonds. So this cruise director made a phone call to a jewelry store in St. Thomas. The Saudi prince got off the ship, bought $1 million worth of diamonds. The cruise director got his kickback, which was 10%. So he got $100,000 for making a phone call. And then allegedly he quit the next week. So thank you, Nick, for that wonderful story. So that's my best tropical destination story from Nick. Coming up next, we're going to Kinjo Sushi. I'm going to get some takeout. Now there's 6 locations in Calgary. I'm going to the one called the District. They have exceptional sushi, and I'm not going to do skip the dish. Apparently it's killing the restaurant, so we're going to do takeout, and apparently they have curbside delivery, so we'll see how that goes. So coming up next, Kinjo Sushi, and then we're heading out to the lake for Appies with Chappy. All right, so I'm back from Kinjo Sushi. I got the takeout. Now first, I just want to show you how to mix soy sauce and wasabi properly. It's not a difficult thing, but whenever I go out with someone for sushi and I see them having lumpy wasabi and soy sauce, it just breaks my heart. All right, so I have the wasabi here. Chopsticks. You're always going to mix it with the chopsticks. I actually was an exchange student in Japan when I went to university, so I picked up this little trick. So it's just a simple trick. It's just add a tiny bit of soy sauce at a time and mix it into a paste. And people say, oh, I don't like it strong. You keep on adding the soy sauce until it's to your taste. But you want to just add a tiny bit. Give it a mixy. Tiny bit. Mixy. If you put a lot in, you're going to get lumps, and then you're just going to taste soy sauce and big lumps of wasabi, and that's no bueno. A little bit more soy sauce, mixy mixy. And that's 2 packets. If you don't like it spicy, add the 3rd packet. All right, so that's my soy sauce and wasabi trick. Now we're going to give this Kinjo Sushi a try. This is the Benihana Roll. Red tuna, jalapeno, soy paper, volcano sauce, hot sauce, unagi sauce, and tobiko. Next up, we got the mango roll, which is shrimp tempura, unagi sauce, tobiko, mango, avocado, and mango sauce. Last but not least, I have the lobster roll. Tempura lobster, tobiko, mayo, cucumber, avocado, and lettuce.
Appies with Chappy by the lake.
Welcome to another edition of Appies with Chappy by the lake. Today we're going to make some duck lettuce wraps. Do you like duck, Mookie? Mookie likes duck. Alright, so it's almost happy hour. So we need some drinks to go with our Appies. So I'm going to make something for the kids. This is a Roy Rogers. So if you're at home with your kids and you want to include them in happy hour, this is a virgin drink. So just have a glass of ice, and you need your favorite cola. It's very simple. So I have maraschino cherries. Just gonna add some maraschino cherries. Kids love maraschino cherries. And then in goes the juice. Add the cola, and that's a Roy Rogers. So this is for all you hard-working parents at home doing homeschooling and being with your children 24/7. So on a personal note, I just wanted to say in these challenging times, for me personally, what a wonderful time not to have children. Seriously. If you're married and don't have any kids, it makes you a dink. You're a double income, no kids. So having said that, I have this virgin drink here. I'm going to de-virginize it. So I have a basic Roy Rogers, which is just maraschino cherry and cola. And I'm going to add, I have a cherry liqueur. It's called Cherry Heering. And that's going to make it like a alcoholic cherry coke. And then I have some Sailor Jerry's spiced rum. Just gonna top that off. So now I have an alcoholic Roy Rogers. Now I just invented it, so I need to give it a name. I'm going to call it a trigger. Pew, pew. Get it? Roy Rogers trigger. So that's my trigger. Alright, so now I'm going to start doing the prep work for my Appies. That's Appies with Chappy by the lake. Alright. Ooh, that's nice. So I said we're going to do some duck lettuce wraps. So I have a couple of duck breasts here. I'm going to sear them skin side down. I'm going to use some sesame oil to give it that Asian flavor. You can really overdo it with the sesame oil, so I'll probably cut it with some olive oil. And we'll sear off these duck breasts. And then for my sauce, I'm just going to have like a store-bought hoisin sauce, but I'm going to add some lime juice to it. And then on the duck breasts, I'm going to add a little Chinese 5 spice, again to give it that Asian flair. And then in my duck lettuce wraps, I'm going to cut some cucumbers. I'll probably slice them thinly so they fit into the lettuce wraps. And then finally, I have some nice butter lettuce, which the duck's going to go into. So I'll get started on my duck lettuce wraps. So I'm just adding this sesame oil. I already have some olive oil in there. That black skillet is smoking hot. So the duck breasts are going skin side down. That skin is super thick and fatty, so it's going to go in there for a long time, and a lot of the fat's going to render, and it's going to fry up the skin too. And then that's the Chinese 5 spice. Going to give it a good schwack of that. I hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper before that. And that's my hoisin sauce. I'm just going to add some limes. These limes are a little bit dry. I put them in the microwave for like 10 seconds, and it seemed to get a little bit more juice out of there. And then I'm going to give it a good hit of ginger. I always keep I buy fresh ginger, and then I keep it in the freezer frozen. And my duck's coming along nicely. The skin's all brown and crispy. Just going to give it a little flip and let it cook on the other side. Not nearly as long. And duck, you don't have to have it cooked like chicken. If it's a little bit pink in the middle, it won't kill you. So they turned out quite nice, I must say. You're going to let that duck rest for a little bit and then give it a slice up. So I got my duck all sliced up. I'm just going to put the drippings and juice into my hoisin lime ginger sauce. That's going to make it extra delicious. And then I'm just going to assemble it. I have my lettuce cup, a piece of duck, a piece of cucumber, and then I'm going to hit it with that delicious sauce. And this is going to be a fantastic appetizer. The origin of Peking duck dates back to the Ming Dynasty about 600 years ago. I've had really good Peking duck in Las Vegas. That, of course, comes with the little sort of pancake crepes. But I like the lettuce. The duck's quite fatty, so it seems a little bit healthier with the cucumber and the lettuce. But yeah, that sauce is just outstanding. So there you have it. Alright, so we got our duck wraps going. I made a little bit for Mookie, so she's just going to try some duck wraps. And it's starting to sprinkle, so we better get into those duck wraps. And delicious. Thanks for joining us on Appies with Chappy by the lake. Next up, I'm going to make Spam Musubi.
the Hawaiian delicacy. So I'm just frying up the Spam in the pan. It's nice and crispy. I'm adding some Hawaiian chili water. See episode number 3, I make Hawaiian chili water. And then I'm just putting on a little glaze of teriyaki sauce. That's after it's nice and crispy. And that's my rice. I just cooked it in a regular rice cooker. I got actual Japanese sushi rice. I rinsed it to get some of the starch off. And then I'm just going to add some sushi seasoning. You don't want to add too much or it won't stick together. And you can actually make your own sushi seasoning with rice vinegar, salt, and sugar. This one's already pre-made. I got it at T&T. I think it's actually from Japan. And then you don't want to over mix it either or it'll get too starchy and gloopy. So I'm just kind of basically doing almost a slicing motion there just to incorporate the seasoning. You can see the Spam on the front. It actually had a musubi. So I'm going to use the empty Spam can as a mold for my musubi. And it's, strangely enough, it's the exact same shape as Spam, so it'll work perfectly. So I'm just going to put that saran wrap inside it, and then I'm going to pack the ingredients so it'll be the same shape as the Spam can. And then when you're working with sushi rice, it's good to like wet your hands. And yeah, so I put the rice in there, packing it nice and tightly. And then next will go the Spam, which has a nice teriyaki glaze on it. And I'm going to pack that in nice and tight. And then I'm going to add, I have some seaweed. For sushi, they use nori, which is technically an algae. But this is a seaweed I'm going to wrap around it. It's sesame flavored seaweed. I'm just cutting it up there. And there it is, my Spam Musubi. Delicious. Check out episode number 5, the Jollibee episode. I actually go to the Musubi Cafe in Hawaii. That's really what turned me on to Spam. I had the bacon and egg Spam Musubi. Is this thing on? Oh. All right, so I have my Spam Musubi. I have it tightly wrapped in saran wrap. It keeps it nice and packed and held together, and also keeps it fresh. These are perfect for breakfast. Just take it on the go, and it tastes awesome. So according to Wiki, Spam became popular in Hawaii after World War II. Spam was the main course for the troops during the war, and the large military presence in Hawaii led to Spam's widespread local adoption. So just give this a little try. Oh, it's delicious. And there's no way I can make you think you're gonna like Spam. You just have to try it, and trust me, it's awesome. So according to the HawaiiPlan.com, how Spam Musubi's popularity grew in Hawaii, it says it's because how tasty Spam Musubi was, and because the majority of the population was already accustomed to rice. Spam Musubi grew in popularity. Today you can find Spam Musubi everywhere in Hawaii, including gas stations, supermarkets, 7-Elevens, delis, some liquor stores, ABC stores, local style eateries in many locations in the business district in Honolulu. So there you have it. I swear it's good. You just have to try it. So that's this week's episode of Chappy's Tiki Bar. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and give me a like. And we'll see you next time on Chappy's Tiki Bar.